In the vastness of space, a mysterious warship floated silently near the edge of a remote galaxy. It was old and covered in space dust, but it held secrets from a time long forgotten. The Galactic Council, a powerful group of alien leaders, had gathered to discuss this strange discovery. In a grand chamber filled with golden decorations, the council members took their seats. They were an odd group. Tall aliens with shimmering skin, short beings with big eyes, and creatures that looked like shadows. Today, their faces were lit with curiosity and amusement. "Look at that ship," chuckled Zorak, a leader known for his loud laughter. "It looks like a rusty can. What a waste of time." The other members joined in his laughter, thinking the ship was just another piece of junk from a lesser civilization. But not everyone found it funny. Dr. Ilara, a brilliant scientist from the council, sat quietly in the back. She had always been different from the others. While they enjoyed mocking what they didn't understand, she sought knowledge and adventure. Ilara had a feeling this ship was important. She leaned forward, eager to speak. "Excuse me, everyone," she said, her voice steady. "I believe we should examine the ship more closely. It might have valuable information about ancient technologies." The laughter faded as the council members turned to her. Some exchanged skeptical looks, while others seemed intrigued. Zorak raised an eyebrow. "What makes you think there's anything of value on that old thing?" Ilara took a deep breath, gathering her thoughts. "This ship could tell us about battles fought long ago, about strategies and technologies we've never seen. We can't just dismiss it because it looks old." After a moment of silence, one of the council members, a wise old alien named Kreth, spoke up. "Dr. Ilara has a point. We should at least check it out before making fun of it." The council agreed, and soon a small team was formed to explore the warship. Ilara felt excitement rush through her. This was her chance to uncover something truly amazing. As the team prepared to board the ship, they donned their spacesuits and gathered their tools. The ancient warship loomed in front of them, its massive frame casting a shadow in the starlight. Ilara felt a shiver of anticipation. What secrets would they find inside? They entered through a hatch that creaked open, revealing a dimly lit corridor. The air was stale, filled with the scent of metal and dust. Ilara led the way, her heart racing as she stepped into the unknown. The walls were lined with strange symbols and markings that hinted at a powerful past. "Look at this!" one team member exclaimed, pointing to a control panel. Ilara approached, her eyes widening. The panel was unlike anything she had ever seen. It was covered in buttons and screens, many of which were glowing faintly. As they worked to activate the panel, Ilara felt a thrill of discovery. What if this ship was built by a civilization that had mastered technology beyond their imagination? After some time, the panel flickered to life. Numbers and data streamed across the screens, showing maps of the galaxy and logs of past battles. The team gasped in amazement. Ilara quickly began to study the information, her mind racing with possibilities. Suddenly, a deep rumble echoed through the ship and the lights flickered. The team exchanged worried glances, but Ilara felt determined. "Keep going! We're on the verge of a great discovery!" As they delved deeper into the ship's systems, they uncovered old recordings and messages. The voices of ancient humans filled the air, speaking of heroic battles and fierce enemies. Ilara's excitement grew. This ship wasn't just an old relic, it was a treasure trove of history. But back in the council chamber, the other members were still skeptical. They continued to mock the ship and its origins, unaware of the incredible findings being made inside. Ilara knew they would have to show the council the truth, what humanity was capable of, and how much they had underestimated them. As the team continued to explore, Ilara felt a sense of destiny. This ancient warship was about to change everything. Little did they know, the Galactic Council's laughter would soon turn to astonishment as the truth about the ship began to unfold. Inside the ancient warship, Dr. Ilara and her team stood in awe, surrounded by the glow of the control panel. The screens flashed with data, revealing glimpses of a powerful past. Ilara's heart raced as she realized they were about to uncover secrets that had been hidden for centuries. "Look at this!" shouted Kieran, one of her team members, pointing to a series of holographic images that floated above the console. The images showed fierce battles fought in distant galaxies, with sleek ships darting through space, firing brilliant lasers. The crew watched, captivated by the sight. "This is incredible." Ilara exclaimed. "These logs must belong to the humans who built this ship. They were involved in major conflicts, fighting against overwhelming odds." As the team studied the images, they noticed something strange. The humans appeared to be outnumbered but fought with unmatched bravery. Ilara's mind raced with questions. What had happened to these people? Why had they vanished from the galaxy? Suddenly, one of the screens flickered and showed a series of ancient battle strategies. Ilara stepped closer, trying to absorb every detail. "These tactics could change everything we know about warfare," she said, her excitement spilling over. "If we can learn from these strategies, we could improve our own defenses." The team began to gather data, taking notes and capturing images of the crucial information. They felt like explorers who had stumbled upon a long-lost treasure. Each new discovery fueled their determination to learn more about the ship and its creators. As they continued their investigation, they found a hidden compartment behind the control panel. Kieran pried it open, revealing a small, dusty book filled with drawings and writings. Ilara reached for it, her hands trembling. This book could be the key to understanding the human's history. "Let's see what it says," she said, carefully flipping through the fragile pages. The drawings depicted battles, ships, and strange creatures. The writing, though faded, spoke of heroism and sacrifice, painting a vivid picture of the struggles faced by the humans. "Wow, this is amazing," Kieran said, peering over her shoulder. "They had to fight hard to protect their world." Ilara nodded, feeling a deep sense of respect for the humans. They were not just a forgotten race, they were warriors who had faced great challenges. "We need to show this to the Council," she said. "They need to know the truth about humanity's legacy." Suddenly, a loud noise echoed through the ship, startling the team. The lights flickered again and the control panel began to beep erratically. "What's happening?" Kieran shouted, panic rising in his voice. Ilara quickly examined the panel. "It seems like the ship is trying to communicate with us. We must stabilize it before we lose everything we've uncovered." The team sprang into action, working together to calm the systems. Ilara focused on the main control, trying to decipher the signals. Her heart raced as she realized the ship's advanced technology was still active, even after all these years. After a tense few minutes, the beeping quieted, and the lights stabilized. A new screen lit up, displaying a message in a language they had never seen before. "What does it say?" Kieran asked, looking worried. "I think I can translate it," Ilara replied, her mind working quickly. She began to input commands, and slowly, the text transformed into basic phrases. It says, "Protect the legacy. Seek allies. The war is not over." The team exchanged glances, feeling the weight of the message. The warship was not just a relic. It was a warning and a call to action. "We need to take this seriously," Ilara said, her voice firm. "If there are still enemies out there, we must be prepared." As they finished gathering their findings, Ilara felt a mix of excitement and fear. They had stumbled upon a treasure of knowledge that could change the future of the Galactic Council. But what if the Council dismissed their discoveries? What if they continued to mock humanity instead of recognizing their strength? Determined to prove their worth, Ilara and her team gathered the data and prepared to return to the Council. They knew they had to share the truth about the warship and the incredible legacy of the humans who built it. As they made their way back, Ilara felt a renewed sense of purpose. This was just the beginning. The secrets inside the warship would not only reveal the past, but also shape the future of the galaxy. As Dr. Ilara and her team exited the ancient warship, their minds buzzed with excitement and urgency. They had uncovered a treasure trove of information about humanity's heroic past. Now it was time to share their findings with the Galactic Council, but doubts lingered. Would the Council take them seriously, or would they continue to laugh at what they did not understand? Back in the Grand Chamber, the Council members were still in a light-hearted mood, joking about the warship they had dismissed earlier. Ilara stepped forward, holding the book filled with drawings and writings she had discovered. Her heart pounded in her chest. "Esteemed Council members," she began, her voice strong, "we have made significant discoveries aboard the ancient warship. It holds secrets about the humans who built it, secrets that can change how we view them." Zorak rolled his eyes, his laughter still echoing in the chamber. "What could those weaklings possibly teach us? They are long gone." But Ilara stood her ground. "That's exactly the point. Humans faced great enemies and fought valiantly to protect their world. Their strategies and courage are documented in this book." She held up the fragile volume, hoping to catch their attention. Some council members leaned in, curiosity starting to replace their skepticism. "What do you mean?" asked Kreth, his voice low and thoughtful. "What have you found?" Ilara opened the book, revealing the colorful drawings of battles, ships, and the brave humans who fought. She began to describe the tales she had read, the fierce battles against overwhelming odds, the sacrifices made, and the clever tactics employed by the humans. With each story, the council members' expressions changed from amusement to amazement. They were not just fighting for their survival, she explained passionately. They fought for each other, for their families, and for their way of life. They were brave and clever, and their legacy is worth remembering. One council member, a tall alien named Vera, spoke up. "If what you say is true, then perhaps we have underestimated them. But why did they disappear? Why are there no humans left in the galaxy?" Ilara felt the weight of the question. "I don't know. But their ship holds the answer. They may have faced an enemy so powerful that they had to retreat or even perish. We must learn from their past to protect our future." Kreth nodded, his expression serious. "We cannot ignore this. If the humans were as formidable as you say, we should reach out to them. They could be valuable allies." The atmosphere in the chamber shifted. The laughter faded, replaced by a sense of urgency and respect. Ilara could see that some members were beginning to understand the importance of their findings. Suddenly, the door slid open and a group of aliens rushed in. They were members of a rival faction known for their aggression. Zorak frowned. "What is the meaning of this?" One of the new arrivals stepped forward, a dark-skinned alien with fierce eyes. "We have heard rumors about the warship." "We want it for ourselves!" Ilara's heart raced. This was not what she wanted. She stepped forward, her voice steady. "This ship belongs to no one faction. It is a reminder of what humanity stood for. We must work together to protect its legacy, not fight over it." The rival faction's leader laughed coldly. "And why should we listen to you? You think you can convince us with tales of bravery?" Ilara took a deep breath, remembering the stories she had read. Because the humans fought not only for themselves, but also for their allies. They knew that strength lies in unity. If we can learn from their legacy, we can prepare ourselves against threats like yours. The chamber fell silent, the tension palpable. The council members exchanged glances, considering Ilara's words. The legacy of humanity was powerful, and perhaps they could learn from it. Finally, Kreth spoke again. "You make a compelling argument, Dr. Ilara. We must respect the past and embrace the possibility of a future with humanity. Let us send a message to Earth, asking for their alliance. Their legacy can guide us as we face new challenges." Ilara felt a surge of hope. Maybe, just maybe, they could turn this moment into something great. If they could connect with humanity, they could become stronger together. As she stood before the council, she knew that the legacy of humanity would not be forgotten. The ancient warship had unlocked a door to the past, and now it was time to forge a new path for the future, one that honored the bravery and strength of those who came before them. The council chamber buzzed with newfound energy after Dr. Ilara's presentation. Members were discussing the implications of humanity's legacy and the importance of reaching out for an alliance. But in the midst of this excitement, a dark shadow loomed over the galaxy. Days passed, and the council sent a message to Earth, inviting humans to share their knowledge and skills. Ilara waited eagerly for a response, but she couldn't shake the feeling of unease that had settled in her stomach. Reports had come in about strange ships appearing on the outskirts of their territory, ships that had no markings and flew at high speeds. During one meeting, a worried council member named Talon spoke up. "We cannot ignore the fact that unknown ships have been spotted near our borders. If they are hostile, we must prepare." Zorak, still skeptical about the humans, dismissed Talon's concerns. "Let's not waste time worrying about shadows. We should focus on our message to Earth." But Ilara shook her head. "This is not just a shadow. It could be a real threat. We must investigate these ships before they get too close." The council debated for hours. Some members agreed with Ilara, while others insisted on staying the course and waiting for a response from Earth. Tensions rose as voices clashed. Ilara could see that their indecision could cost them dearly. Finally, Kreth, the council leader, made a decision. "We will send a reconnaissance team to investigate the ships. Ilara, you will lead this mission. Gather your best crew and find out who these ships belong to." Ilara felt a rush of adrenaline. This was her chance to show the council the seriousness of the situation. She quickly assembled her team, including Kieran and a skilled pilot named Jax. They prepped the ship and set out, hearts racing with anticipation. As they approached the coordinates where the mysterious ships had been spotted, the atmosphere grew tense. The ship's sensors picked up several unknown vessels drifting in the shadows of a nearby asteroid field. They were sleek and menacing, gliding silently, almost as if waiting for something. "Stay alert," Alara ordered. "We don't know what we're dealing with." Kieran monitored the readings on his screen. "I'm not getting any response from them. It's like they're just watching." Suddenly, the sensors blared an alarm. "They're powering up!" Jax shouted, his eyes wide with fear. "Get us out of here!" Alara commanded, but it was too late. The unknown ships fired a barrage of lasers at them, shaking their vessel violently. Alara gripped the control panel, trying to steady the ship as alarms blared all around them. Jax maneuvered the ship, skillfully dodging the incoming fire. "I can't keep this up for long! We need to fight back or find a way to escape!" Alara's mind raced. She knew they couldn't simply run. They needed to gather information about their attackers. "Kieran, can you analyze their weapons?" "We need to know what we're up against!" Kieran focused on the data streaming in. "They have advanced technology, possibly from a well-funded faction. They're equipped for battle, and they seem intent on taking us down." As another blast hit their ship, Ilara's resolve strengthened. "We need to send a distress signal to the Council. They must know what we're facing." Kieran worked quickly, tapping into the ship's communication system. "I'm trying to reach them, but their signals are interfering. We might lose contact." "Just keep trying!" Alara yelled as Jax continued to dodge the attacks, sweat dripping down his forehead. The ship rattled again, and Alara felt the strain on her crew. "Stay focused! We can't give up!" As they fought to regain control, Ilara's heart sank. If they couldn't escape, they risked being captured or destroyed. The Council had no idea what was truly happening, and she feared they would be left to face this threat alone. Suddenly, amidst the chaos, Kieran shouted, "I've got it! The distress signal is ready." He pressed the button, sending their location and situation to the Council. "Now we just need to hold on until help arrives," Alara said, her voice steady despite the fear gnawing at her. They had sent their warning, but she knew they had to survive long enough to make it back. The ships closed in, surrounding them like vultures. Alara took a deep breath, focusing on the task ahead. They were in danger, but they would not go down without a fight. She felt the weight of humanity's legacy resting on her shoulders. She had to protect that legacy, not just for herself, but for all the future allies who might stand with them. "Get ready!" Alara shouted as the enemy ships drew closer, determination shining in her eyes. The fight for survival had just begun, and she would not let the darkness win. The battle raged around Alara and her crew as they fought to survive against the unknown ships. The distress signal had been sent, but now they had to buy time until help arrived. Every second felt like an eternity as lasers shot past their ship, lighting up the darkness of space. Jax was in the pilot's seat, his hands gripping the controls tightly. "I can't keep dodging forever." "We need to strike back," he shouted, his voice tense. Alara nodded, her heart racing. "Kieran, do we have any weapons we can use?" Kieran, his eyes scanning the ship's control panels, replied urgently, "We have some basic laser cannons, but they won't do much against those ships. We need something stronger. Then let's use what we have to distract them while I try to calculate a new course. If we can get to the asteroid field, we might find a way to lose them." Alara shouted, determined to keep her crew safe. "Right." Jax adjusted their trajectory toward the dense asteroid field. "I'll keep them busy with evasive maneuvers. Just keep an eye on those readings." As Jax navigated through the obstacles, Kieran fired the laser cannons, hoping to cause some confusion among the enemy ships. The enemy retaliated, firing back with precision. Each shot shook their ship, but Jax's skill kept them in the fight. Suddenly, the control panel lit up with a new alert. "We've got incoming ships," Kieran exclaimed, looking worried. "They're from the Council." Alara felt a wave of relief wash over her. "Thank the stars! They're here!" But her relief quickly turned to alarm as she saw the Council ships join the fray. They were engaging the unknown attackers, but the enemy was outnumbering them. "Jax, can you get us closer to the Council ships?" Alara asked, her voice steady despite the chaos. "On it!" Jax responded, focusing hard. He piloted their ship with precision, weaving through the asteroid field and darting toward the battle. As they neared the Council ships, a familiar voice came through the comm system. Elara, we see you. Prepare for rescue! It was Kreth, leading the council fleet. His voice was filled with determination. Thank you. We're on our way! Elara shouted back, relieved. Just then, one of the enemy ships turned its weapons toward them, preparing to fire. Look out! Kieran yelled. Jax, maneuver to dodge! Elara ordered urgently. Jax twisted the ship, and they narrowly avoided the attack. The enemy ship fired again, but this time it hit one of the council vessels, causing it to spin out of control. Stay focused! We have to reach them, Elara urged. Jax pressed on the accelerator, pushing their ship to its limits. The council ship started to form a protective barrier around Elara's team, firing at the enemy vessels with renewed strength. The tide of battle began to turn. Elara felt a surge of hope as she watched the council's fleet coordinate their attacks, working together as a team. Finally, they reached the safety of the council ships. Kreth's vessel opened its docking bay, and Jax maneuvered their ship inside, the air filled with tension. Once they were safely inside, Elara rushed to the control panel, looking for a way to help. Council ships, we need to regroup, she said through the comm system. We must coordinate our efforts to drive back the enemy. Kreth's voice boomed through the speakers. Agreed. Let's show them what we can do together. The council ships rallied around Elara's team, forming a united front. They unleashed a powerful counterattack, focusing their fire on the enemy ships. The battle was fierce, but now they had the upper hand. As the enemy began to retreat, Elara felt a mixture of relief and exhilaration. The council had stood by them, and together they had fought against a common threat. We did it! She shouted, her voice full of triumph. But there was no time to celebrate. Kreth's voice interrupted her thoughts. Elara, we need to talk. There are more questions than answers. Who were those ships and why were they targeting you? Elara took a deep breath, recalling the stories of humanity and their struggles. I believe they were sent by a faction that wants to suppress the legacy of humans. They see us as a threat, just as we are beginning to see the strength of unity. Kreth nodded, his expression serious. Then we must prepare for what comes next. If they are willing to attack us now, they will surely come again. But this time we will not be caught off guard. Elara felt a fire ignite within her. We need to reach out to Earth again and show them our resolve. Humanity's legacy can unite us all. Together we can face whatever danger lies ahead. As the council members discussed their plans, Elara looked out at the stars through the ship's viewport. The universe was vast and full of unknowns, but now they had allies. This was just the beginning of a new chapter, a chance to build a future based on strength, courage, and unity. The legacy of humanity was alive once more, and Elara was determined to ensure that it would not only be remembered, but honored. The council had accepted her, and together they would forge a new alliance, ready to face the challenges that awaited them in the cosmos.